There might be a few people that wonder, should you use a mining motherboard as a RAID setup? As you can see, I only have these many. I had all of them connected, but due to some technical issues, we're only down to 13. This drive right here stopped working today when I was troubleshooting. So as you can see, we got all of these running a striped volume. It's not an actual like proper RAID per se. So it's the majority of them are running in PCIe Gen 3, but they're running in PCIe Gen 2 speeds, unlike one or two of them. As you can see, we'll open this up, and you'll get a good look. Like while you guys look at the information, you might be wondering, why did I do this experiment? It was just pure curiosity. Oh, that's interesting. Earlier, when I was opening all this up, only one of them was running PCIe Gen 2. All right. Anyways, the reason why I did this, I wanted to see if it's been done, and it hasn't been done. Well, when I tried googling it, I couldn't find any info on it. So this is like kind of like the guinea pig. I invested some money into buying these adapters from China. Bought this mining motherboard used. This is a B250 mining expert from ASUS. I bought 22 of the 256 gig NVMe SSDs off of a buddy of mine to be able to do this experiment. So a big thank you for that, man. I really appreciate you giving me a good deal on that. And also, before I forget, thank you to some of the people in the Craft Computing Discord server for helping me try to troubleshoot this a few weeks ago, because this has been an ongoing project that I've been trying to run. So we kind of came to the conclusion that the PCH and the chipset and all that other stuff was gonna be very problematic. The board itself was being problematic, with some of the slots not detecting when I had all of them populated, and when I didn't have all of them populated, sometimes 4 or 6 of them would stop detecting in Windows. So even after all that, I was able to configure 13 of them and did some testing in Gen 1, and I got numbers that weren't too great. So I tested it in Gen 3, and I essentially got the same results. I don't have photos of the first result, but they were essentially identical to one another. Like it kind of confirmed my theory that something with the chipset might be acting really weird, and this is where you'll start seeing the disadvantages of running this. Now, this is running a striped volume through Windows and not a proper RAID setup like you would see with ZFS, Unraid, and all that other stuff, all the other NAS operating systems. I think this is a little bit of a janky solution. Like, this is a really cool proof of concept of seeing what you could do to repurpose these boards. But there's a lot of issues because I don't think this is probably like the only video or the first video of somebody doing this on YouTube. And secondly, the cost to do all this. I got lucky. I essentially paid $5 at the time of right around the time of this recording. I think I paid for it back in the beginning of March. We're already towards the end of March. I pretty much paid $5 per drive on these, so I got a good deal. But you might not be so lucky. You might get stuck spending like $10, $15 per 256 gig drive, and if we're trying to run all 18, that's gonna add up. It would be cheaper to get a 4 terabyte NVMe, like a used one, than going this route. Now, other disadvantages, it is a major headache to get working. If you get a bunch of used drives and they don't have any of the partitions and volumes deleted, you have to go to the command prompt, go to disk part, and then you gotta select the volume, and you gotta delete volume override. You gotta put delete volume override to get all those, and that's kind of a long process when you have if you're gonna be doing all 18, because some of them will have multiple volumes in a single per drive. So you're gonna be doing it like anywhere from like 18 to 30 times, depending on the route you go. Now, should people ever look into this, like if we ever get larger creators, like people from Hardware Haven, Craft Computing, and maybe a few others, like maybe Linus Tech Tips, for all we know, if we can get those guys to do it, maybe those guys, with those guys' expertise in running RAID and running multiple drives and all that, maybe they would be able to figure out how to run this. Because for somebody like me, this is just something that I wanted to do for fun. And it would spark my curiosity. And we figured out that this thing doesn't really work as intended. Now, if we're able to get all these issues resolved, like maybe you guys give me suggestions, or maybe later on somebody else sees this video and ends up doing this experiment themselves and they get better results with this set board, because this board does have issues. Maybe a different mining board that has maybe just this first row only, it might actually perform a lot better. You might see way better performance, like PCIe Gen 3 by 8 speeds, so you effectively like Gen 4 by 4 speeds. With that, you might be able to see something. You might even see faster than Gen 4 speeds. Like, we might see something like that working. So, if you guys are watching this video and you want to try this yourself and you're like kind of higher up, like you have more expertise than I do with this kind of stuff, please let me know with your findings and see if maybe it's something I did wrong, or maybe it's just the way the PCIe lane allocation is. Because I thought this thing was just gonna have a stroke and it was just gonna crash. It's still working. So, if you guys have suggestions, let me know in the comments. I've done a bunch of troubleshooting on it, like moving drives around and changing multiple settings. I do have mining mode disabled on here, and I have the PCH configuration set to Gen 3. I can't remember the name of the setting, but it's somewhere in those settings on this board. I ruled out everything. The only thing I haven't done is cleaning it, but it is unlikely that this could be the issue. So, just leave some suggestions on what to do, or maybe you want to try this yourself. Like, if you're somebody that loves to do tinkering and do like really wacky experiments, like the guy that I can't remember his name, the guy that did the petabyte server using a Raspberry Pi. If you're somebody that is into doing stuff like that, I would give this a recommendation just to mess with it. Maybe you guys would know more than I would. Like I said earlier, maybe you guys would know how to make this work, or maybe Windows is the limitation, and maybe running it off of a different operating system would fix all this. So if you guys do that and make a video out of it, please let me know, because I would love to see what you guys have done. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a good day. Peace out.